So, hello everyone. So happy to be here and connected with you all again. It's been fun meeting some new people and then seeing some old favorite people on the line. It's really been great. I am not old in age, just old in how long we've known each other. And it's been so fun talking to everyone after the calls and seeing how I can help support you in your next step. Or Laura can help support you in your next step. So we have really, truly enjoyed connecting with everyone and seeing what's next and where do you want to go, and helping you to get clarity on your own purpose and your own mission and your own vision as healers. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 myths of healing, which will be pretty cool because I loved some of these when I was putting them together. So let me just share the screen so you could see the top 5 myths. Okay. So why I wanted to put this in place is that I have been talking to a lot of healers that have been healing for a while, and then some that are brand new. And my goal is to help you shift beyond one of the myths that you might be living into, or one of the stuck places that you're living into, because you don't have to live from that place. And then for the healers that have only been doing it for a year or so, to look at, here are the traps that sometimes energy healers fall into, and here's how you can move beyond them. And that they don't have to keep you blocked or stuck or keep you from your powerful gifts in the world. So today, just so I know what length of people and the types of healers we have online, if you can post in the chat box how long you've been a healer, and do you have a practice that you want to expand or grow, or are you new and you really want to get your sink your teeth into this business of healing? So if the chat box is below, it's usually on your menu bar. Okay, so here's some, oops, here's some chats coming in that, oh geez, suddenly I can't get the chat box. All right, so here's one thing you should know about me. Because of the energy that goes on during these calls, things always sort of, I have trouble with electronics in a big way. I'm sure others might have different aspects, but anything electrical tends to not work the way everyone else's does. All right, so here's what I have. 10 plus years in expand the business. Reiki massage therapist for over 20 years, 3.5 years, relocated in July, and I'm trying to attract clients while working at hospice and as an RH part-time. 25 years as an osteopathic and cranial sacral, just starting professionally. So this is great because we have people all over. 2 years ago, new, ready to take off. Love that, Nicole. About 5 years, practicing a couple years. Okay, awesome. So we have a big selection that we're going to connect with. And whether you're new to this or you're old to this, hopefully you will see something that can you can identify for yourself and then shift from that place. Oh, I love this. Melody says, always a healer, but just starting on my real path. And someone else said new. All of us that are healers know that we've been called to it. It's not a profession that you just sort of pop into, or you look in a career book and you say, oh, this looks rather cool. There's usually a passion or a calling. And for me, I got called quite young. when I was in my 20s, but I really never knew what I was supposed to be doing with it. So I ignored it for a bunch of years until I couldn't ignore it anymore. And so let me just tell you a little bit about me. So I was in corporate America for a long time and loved working there. I did a lot of transformation work, change management work, and development of people. And I loved to travel, and I got to work all over the world. And then I remember saying to my husband, we were sort of bumping up against that path of you either decide to have a child or you don't. And I remember saying to my husband, how much can one child change our lives? And I swear that the universe said, oh, okay, we'll show you how much 3 children at once can change your lives. So I had these lovely triplets, 2 girls and a boy, and they're off to college this year. So it's been a very transformational and transitional year for all of us, and especially including my husband and I. It's been, you know, going from a million miles an hour with them all to like suddenly sitting home alone at night and saying, wait, where's the crowd? Where's the noise? I have been a master healer. So like I said, in my late 20s, I actually met a corporate shaman and began to work with him. And within 6 months, he's like, you need to go find some other teachers. You've already surpassed what I know how to do. And so I've been on the journey. I've worked with lots of different teachers, but over the last 5 years, I really have been mainly downloading and channeling all the different healing work and modalities that I use. And what I found is that the work that's coming down has been amazingly simple and yet so powerful. And the rate in which I could help heal or accelerate people through their transitions or changes has been dramatically different than when I started out, you know, years ago. I am indoctrinated into 2 different shamans' lineage. The man in the black hat, his name is Gregorio. When I met him, he lived on Tequila Island in Peru and hadn't been off his island in like 60 years, and somehow he agreed to join the group that I was with, and he so liked us that so every year after that he traveled through Peru with us and did ceremonies. And then after a couple of years I went through a process with him to get indoctrinated into his lineage. And the 2 shamans, there's a shaman to the left of him and a shaman to the right. So it's been an amazing journey. But the thing about shamanism, I love it. I still use some of the processes from it, but there's a lot of ceremony with shamanism. And what I found is that as we're transitioning, as more crystal children are coming in, as people are really opening up their gifts at a rate that I just haven't seen in the last 20 years, the work can be faster and quicker and deeper and more transformative. I call myself a transformer. I do day-long events or weekend events in which I help shift people from where they are to what their biggest purpose and their goals and the role that they want to do in life. So today we're talking about 5 myths that keep people stuck in becoming an energy healer, or what I want to say is also growing their energy capabilities or their business. So let's begin, and let me know if any of these particularly connect with you. So myth number 1 is it's hard to live on your purpose. So if you're anything like me, I sort of fought my my process for a long time until I didn't, until there was no way I could not step into my purpose. What I see now is that people are taking action to step into their purpose, but not giving it enough time. Or some people are taking action and then they give it all the time in the world to the point that they become inactive in it. And so one of the things I want you to do is right now, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is your purpose in the world? What is it that will bring you the most joy, the most fulfillment, the most expansive place, the most contribution? You know, when we get into our 50s, 60s, we start talking about what's our legacy? What are we going to leave behind? So I want you to think about that for a minute and then place it in the chat box, because I would love to hear what people have to say. All right, so lots of people. Someone's saying their sound is not working. Can everyone else hear me? Here are some of what they're saying. So the one that's saying their sound is not working, sometimes if you log out and then re-log in, you'll get the sound. Galaxy Tab said, I'm opening a business that incorporates wellness and aligning people's inner and outer beauty. Someone else that I can hear, good. Looking to expand a home practice so that I can heal from home and raise my child. That's what I did, it was amazing. Helping them connect to who they truly are. My purpose is helping women connect with their true selves. Helping women connect with their true selves, teach people how to be their authentic selves, and help them shed and heal their limiting beliefs. I love some of these. Help people realize how amazing they are, to break their past. Okay, so these are absolutely amazing purposes. All of you are really focused on what it is that you want to contribute to the world, right? And to contribute to yourselves. Oh, good. Lisa said, sound is back. Offering profound impacts to ensure clients are at their best, making people feel good, helping them awaken this week on a beach. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about what is the one belief, one limiting belief, whether it's to grow and expand your capacity, whether it's to take on, learn new ways of healing, whether it's to step into your healing. What is the one belief that you might have that keeps you out of your purpose? Write it down. Because what I love to do, although, is to help at any level shift people. So we're going to shift your belief that you're holding. So one of the things I would love you to do is, when you are writing your purpose, start with the I do, I have, I create, because it puts it into action. All right, so here are the fears coming in. Clients do not want my service. Oh, that's such a typical fear, and we're going to talk about that. Fear of not making enough money, comparing myself to other people, super introverted, not book smart, rather guided. So how do you use that for yourself? How do you take that and bring that gift out in the world? Because there's other introverted people that could use the connection of how you move beyond that, or how you embrace that. Oh, I love this one, that I have to be certified. Oh, Connie, I compare myself to Mary-Ann's of the world. Okay, here's what I want to say. When you go into compare and contrast, that's when you create the most suffering. When I teach my healing schools, I will repeat that 100 times during the first weekend, because it's natural for us to judge ourselves against other people. But what I do want to say is that energy, that judgment, that comparison really keeps you small, keeps you in a lower level vibration, a lower energy, and just then creates suffering for you, because then you're really in the disconnect. Rather than say, ooh, I love that person's gifts, and I'm going to continue to invite my gifts in. You see, like you continue to bring your gifts in over and over and over again. I may not be good enough. I may not be able to sell myself. I have disappointment when I prepare and create workshops and no one shows up. Or a client says they want to see me, but then they don't follow through. And I have someone else saying ditto to Angela's. Okay. So here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing two things. One is that if I look at this, there's a belief around not being able to attract the people that I want, right? Like I won't attract the kinds of people that I want. And some of you have experience, like you put workshops together and people haven't shown up for them. So now you actually have experience with that. Others of you are saying it's more internal, like I don't have the confidence, or I don't know if I'm good enough, or I don't know how to project my level of confidence out in the world. And then there's a third piece, and the third piece is really around the business. What is it in doing business that will help you co-create a thriving practice? So 3 things. One is, am I good enough? If I boil it down. The other is, do I have enough knowledge? And then the third is, and I'm going to put knowledge, because all of you, because you're on the phone, I only attract gifted people. So I know you're gifted. And then the third is, do I know enough about business to create people and products, not products, but offerings that have people wanting to come back to me over and over again. Here's the thing. If you are really good, if you have a lot of success with your clients, they will be your referral engine. When I first started, I didn't even know what I was actually really doing. I really didn't. A lot of it just came through intuitively, and I didn't have language around it. So I would just say, oh, you know, I'm getting this guidance to do this, this, and this. And if a client trusts you, they will help support you. Nowadays, what's so cool is that there's a lot of opening and knowledge around energy. I love that Reiki's been out there for so long, because Reiki made energy healing work mainstream. So it made it mainstream. It's in the hospitals now. It's in nursing homes. So it's not this sort of wacky, crazy thing that people are doing and they don't know what their success is. But what you want to do is to say, what are my offerings? What's my special gifts? And what do I notice when I work with people? So there's a bunch of business, I'm going to put it under business strategies that you can take that will, and if you have a big business, you can apply it there. If you're just starting out, you can apply it there. That will help you start getting clients coming to you and help you get referrals. But here's what I know for sure. When you are sitting in this place and you're trying to do it alone, it's a very, very lonely place. That was my journey. And my first and biggest commitment was I wanted to create community. So I work out of the Northeast, out of the Boston area. And I'm always looking to create community with other healers and have people come and work together, because otherwise you're kind of just out there throwing things like spaghetti against a wall and hoping something will stick, rather than working in a community where people are sharing and they know what works. And then you go back and you try it out and you get some success around it. And the fear of not making enough money. Here's the thing. If you make money in your life in other places, you will always attract that level of money to you. The question is, are you going to stay in the fear or the scarcity, or are you going to calm the mind down enough to then step into the work so that you can make the money? Because more and more what I see is a lot of people not being able to continue with Western medicine, because the first reaction Western medicine has is they want to give you pills, or and they don't have time. Like, your physician has 15 minutes a person to diagnose and then try to get you help. So a lot of times people get misdiagnosed, or they get rushed to judgment, and they don't feel supported or heard. And this is a great time for energy work, because you can support them, you can hear them, they can take incremental steps. So here's what I would do for you, is to say to yourself, okay, so if this is my purpose and I am committed to it, then what you want to do is to map out a strategy to align to your purpose. And a strategy is it could be, what's the next 5 steps I'm taking? It could be, over the next 3 months, here are the things that I am going to do to move myself forward. If you are in this place of trying to figure out your purpose and how to bring it forward, at the end, we're going to open up phone calls, because that's quite frankly what Laura and I are brilliant at. We're brilliant at giving you guys, or giving people, suggestions and support to know how to keep moving forward, okay? And Karen said, my lack of money is a great contributing factor to holding me back. So Karen, what I would do is flip that, and to start to say, I receive money in multiple ways. And so some people are doing energy work as a side job, and they have another job until they build their business. It's like, what are all the different ways that you can bring in money so that you could feel good in your life, so that you go after doing the work? The other thing is for you to know, a lot of times when we use the money as an issue, it's really actually not about money. It could be around insecurity or intimacy, like being too intimate with your own purpose or your own goals, or being afraid to get what it is that you want in life. All right, so let's move on to myth number 2. So just so we're clear, what we want you to do is to commit to your purpose, and you commit by doing a couple of things. One is look at it as weeks in time, like the next month, here are my commitments to myself. And then I would also tell somebody else so they can keep you accountable. The second thing is you can call, and Laura and I will help you put together a plan. All right, let's get to the next myth. So confidence is huge. And I apologize, it looks like for some reason, the purple box on these slides aren't going all the way down. So I hope you're able to read the slides. So confidence is a big thing. So myth number 2 is you're feeling insecure in your ability, never knowing what to do next. That's the biggest thing I hear, like when people come to me, like, so I teach energy healers, and the biggest thing that I see that blocks them is their fear of not feeling like they're going to get it right, or they're going to have the solution. And we've spent this last year showing them, I've taught them that there's many different solutions. So there's never any one single thing that's going to help heal a person. So it's not you either get an A or you get an F when you're working with somebody. What is really, really core is that you have a process to assess what your client's coming in for. What I see is that when people are either trained in one thing, and I would say the earlier me would do this as well, that's the only thing that they apply to the person. Like, so if I only knew shamanism, every issue I heard either fit under soul contracts or releasing energy or doing lineage work, those three things. And what I want to say to you is that there's so many other ways. And the most powerful way that you can develop confidence is if you listen into what your clients are saying. And you have a process for asking them questions, then replaying back what you heard and having them agree with you. And then from there you say, that's when you can tap in and connect to what's the best healing I could do for this person. And when I say tap in, some of you use your intuition, some of you have a toolbox with many different tools to use. But you get quiet and you ask yourself or their soul, what is it that this person's needing? So the first thing is to have a system. And one of the things that we teach in Journey of the Healer is a process called CORE. And CORE is really around collecting information, understanding what your clients have, opening to see where the energy is, releasing that energy, and then putting them back in expansion. So it's a system that you walk people through. And what we know about systems and frameworks is that when we're beginning, or when we're trying to broaden ourselves out so that we can heal anyone that comes in the door for us, when we have a methodology that helps us ask the questions, step into it, really understand what they need, and then come up with ways to address it, it makes us feel more confident and more powerful. Here's the other thing. Today, more than ever, people aren't coming in with one thing. They're coming in with many things. So more than ever, you're going to have to listen to what is it that this person's really saying. Because a lot of times when they come in and they're saying, oh, I want this or I want that, what you actually find is the more you question, it might be something totally different. And I'll just give you a day in the life of. So yesterday, no, I'm going to use Monday. So Monday, I did sessions over the phone all day long because I see people all over the world. And I started at 9 and I actually didn't finish till 11 o'clock that night. And that was a crazy day. A couple of clients called for emergency sessions and I squeezed them in. But I had everything from somebody not getting pregnant to somebody needing support for their pregnancy, for somebody with extreme anxiety, from someone with career counseling and wondering why they're not getting the job that they're getting, like what is their energy in the way of. What else did I do? Oh, another one wanted me to work on their lineage energy. Another one was around their concern about their child, and I did a whole bunch of past life work. This is how people are now coming to energy healers. They're coming to you because you're holistic and they need a place to go to be able to share what's fully going on for them. And so as an energy healer, you have to feel powerful enough to know that you can heal them at every single level. On the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, and the energetic. Right. So I'm going to stop the share for a second and ask if anyone has any questions on that and come back to you full. And at the same time, I realize I have an old presentation, so I'm going to try to get the newer one up. All right. So any questions, post in the chat. I would love to hear what they are. Is this helpful, the way I'm stepping you through? Because this is really designed for you and helping you. So post in the chat.
Hey, it's Laura. While Marianne's looking for the presentation, I know one of the questions was, can you repeat CORE again? So CORE stands for connecting, opening, releasing, and expanding. So that's the 4 steps that when somebody walks in, that you're walking them through. And by the time you get done connecting, you have a game plan of what are the things coming up. Marianne talked about somebody can come in and they can present with one problem, but you actually see that there's something happening in their energy somewhere else. So it helps you build a game plan to say, okay, so first we want to do this or that. And the opening piece of it is really connecting into your guides and their guides and opening up what's possible. And the releasing is really picking from your toolkit of whether it's lineage work or chakra work or belief work, like whatever that is it an emotional, the spiritual, and going forward. And then the expanding is always leaving them, filling them with energy so that they're in a better place than they walked in, and ready and open for more in their life.
And thanks, Laura. Well, you guys are going to get the special treat of the unedited presentation because I can't find the other one. So I'm just going to move forward with this. But here's what you need to also know. When you do CORE, there's no second guessing yourself. You will have the skills and the capabilities to really feel like you know how to best serve them.
Well, and the trick with that, I'll just add, Marianne, is that it's because there isn't any one right way. We all bring our own unique gifts to the table. So someone can show up to Nicole or to Marianne or to I, and we'll each have our own way for getting them their next step forward. So that's the beauty of it. It's not a right way. It's how do you tap into what your knowing is and what your gifts are to apply them to the person in front of you.
Okay. Great, Laura. All right, so let's move on to myth number 3. And Laura, if you could just keep tracking the questions that are coming in, because more are coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I really make money? And these were some of the fears that came up. Can I really make enough money? And here's the other thing. People believe it takes years and years to develop a clientele. You need to have a huge mailing list in order to be successful. When I started, I had no mailing list. I just had a lot of intention. So one of the things I want to say to you is, as you're starting your business, every day you have an intention with Spirit. And one of the things I used to do is I would say to Spirit, my intention is to always have 3, this is when I was working full time. So when I was working full time, I only worked with 3 to 5 clients at a time, but on the side, because anything more than that was too much because I was also traveling and I wanted to have a life. But one of the things I would do every day is to say, my intention is to always have 3 to 5 clients to work on. And every so often, I would have these little lulls where I was finishing up with clients. And then I would get demanding, like, universe, send me 3 clients. And somebody once said to me, wait, you could demand something? I said, absolutely, because all you're doing is in your demand, you're more forceful with your energy. So it sort of like bubbles it up to the top and they know you're really important. One time I'll never forget, I was on a beach in Long Island and I had just finished up like these 4 clients. I had had all of them for about six months to about almost a year. And I wanted to take a little break. I went on vacation for a couple of weeks, but the last day I was on vacation, sitting on the beach, and I remember saying, okay, universe, I'm ready for 3 more. By the end of that day, I had 3 calls coming in from, random places like, oh, a friend of a friend told me about you. And that was in the days when I didn't advertise, I didn't market, I did nothing really. It was just all word of mouth. So I want you to know that you can begin a business via word of mouth. And one of the things that is the most successful is for you to go out to friends and family and say, hey, this is something I'm really good at, and I would love to be able to offer a mini workshop to your friends or your family members, 4 to 6 people. My suggested price is this, but people can come and pay what they want. You always have to have 2 modes in mind. One is, how do I build a clientele? And a lot of times you might want to give away some introductory services in order to build a clientele. Once you have clients coming to you, the number one responsibility you have is, one, be centered, grounded, and able to do some good work with them. And it's not a one and done. Here's what I see way too often. People will have a client. They're all excited. They get the client comes in, and they have an amazing experience together. And the healer, sometimes it's my students, won't ask for follow-up work or won't ask for a referral. When I see people, because we are so complex, we are not one-dimensional human beings, right? We have complexity to us. And because we're so complex, there's always more and more and more that you get to work with people. Always. And so what you want to leave them with is, what are the next steps? So the one that came to me on Monday around career counseling and, just in a rut and can't, going on interview after interview, but not getting anything. We worked on limiting beliefs. I cleared out some energy from their past job. And that's what I could do in the hour. And then I mapped out a plan for them. And I said, look, here's the thing. If this is powerful for you today, I see more energy blocked here. I see that you don't have a way of using energy to work with you for when you go to these things. And so I set up what the next steps are for them. And if the experience is good, oftentimes they're like, yep, let's schedule before I walk out the door. So you always want to take 5 minutes at the end of your session and tell them what else you can offer them to get them where they want to go. And then what you want to do is to circle back around. So say maybe you worked with them 2 or 3 times at this point, and say, hey, is there anyone else in your life that could use this kind of work to shift them, to heal them, to support them, and see who they come to mind? Because a lot of times when people come to you, they're not thinking about others in their life. But when you ask them the question, they're like, oh my God, yes, I could see this for this person and that person. So don't be bashful around asking for referrals, or just asking, do you know anyone else in your world that this could help? Myth number 4, I will never know enough. Okay, this is the person that's afraid to take the first step. Like they're always perpetual students. Now, I love perpetual students. I'm a perpetual student. I never ever feel like I know enough. But I don't let that feeling block me or stop me. I think about it from the frame of mind that there is so much to know. There's so much to know, and everything keeps changing and evolving. And if I think I'm the master, I'm going to stop learning. So I always hold both. I'm a master energy healer and I'm a journeyer as well, because I always want to be open to what's next. What else can I learn? How much more can I do in the world? But if you live in a belief that you don't know enough and you let that belief stop you, you'll never take the first steps. So the solution starts with always taking a first step, learning a foundation where you feel comfortable enough to then get to your deepest understanding. So on this one, what I would say to you is you would want to write down, here's all the things I do know. Here's all the things I give myself credit for every day. And then here's all the things I'd love to know more of, or a way in which I can take steps to develop more into my gifts. I think the day that we say, oh, we're masters and we don't develop ourselves is the day we stop growing. And I think that also stops our clients from coming to us, because then you get stuck only delivering one aspect. But when you hold it as an and both, yes, you'll never know enough. I know I will never know enough. And I'm quite happy in claiming I'm a beginner at some things and I'm a master at other things. So if you live in the I will never know enough, I want you to flip that belief to say, here is what I know, and here's what I can begin to help people with right now, today. And if you have trouble knowing what you know, at the end, I want you to schedule a call and we will help you clarify what you know. Some people get stuck in that because their brain keeps saying, nope, nope, you don't know enough. All right. And then the third is, and this one is so powerful. You're afraid to tell people what you're doing because it's different, it's unique. And it's not easy. It's so funny. My daughter always says, oh, mommy, I hate when people ask me what you do, because then I think like, oh, I have to explain this big whole thing to them. Like, I wish you just worked in business and then I could just say, oh, you're a businesswoman. I said, well, you could say that. I run a business. But how I talk to people is that I help people transform their lives into what they truly desire. And I do that either by helping healers to get to their next healing level, or helping individuals move their lives to whatever that next place is. And I do it with some coaching, and I do it with energy healing work. But here's what I know for sure. When I used to just have clients that came for coaching, and then I had clients that came from coaching and energy healing, the people that had the combination of energy work and coaching dramatically moved their lives faster than the people that I was just coaching. And so after several years, I could no longer just say I'm a coach. I might bring people in as coaches, as a coach, and then I would introduce them to the energy work, because I would want people to get the most that they could get from me. And it's that combination. So if you're judging yourself and your impact, what you're really doing is you're letting other people take your power by hearing what they say about you. When I began this work, it's a long time ago, I live on the East Coast. East Coast is very mindful, right? Like intellect is what's valued here. Energy work wasn't even really heard of back then. I never even heard of Reiki. And when I let people that say, oh, that just sounds crazy, shut me down, then I gave them my power. But if I ran into someone and I explained what I did and they said, I have no idea and I have no clue what you do and that sounds weird, I'd say, okay. And I'd move on to somebody else that got it. So don't let other people take away your power. Let yourself own your voice and say what you're doing in the world. If you feel insecure around what you're doing, your clients are going to pick that up. People that you talk to are going to pick that up because you have this unsure energy. So the solutions are, get clear on what you want to say about yourself. Get clear. Have that 30-second thing. I was in exercise class the other day, and someone came up to me and said, "Oh, somebody else said you do this like, how did she put it? Like soul reading, like you can tap into my soul. I don't believe that." And I said, "Okay, you don't have to. Look, you don't have to. I'm not trying to convince you. But if you'd love to know more, I'm happy to share with you." And sure enough, after the class, they're like, "Wow, like, yes, I would like to know more." And so I got a client from her. But it's like you're not trying to convince the naysayers. What you want to do is get clear on what you want to say, share it with people, and people are either going to align to you or not. And that you really want to express it with excitement and confidence. Okay. What do people have to say about this? These are the top 5 myths that are stopping people in their tracks. What do you have to say? What myth do you have? Because we're going to clear it right away. I don't want you leaving this exercise without clearing one of your myths.
And Marianne, there were a few questions that came in for you as well.
Okay. So as you're writing down your myths, I'll answer whatever question came in. Go ahead.
So one question was, what are your thoughts on referral discounts, especially while starting out?
Oh, I love referral discounts. Sometimes if somebody refers a really good client to me, I will give them a free session. Sometimes if it's just, a one and done, I give them, $25 for referring them. So yeah, referral discounts when you're starting out are very helpful. The other thing is around the holidays, like right now you're around the holidays, one of the things is you give your client a gift certificate that they can give to somebody else. So they look great, like they're giving one of their friends a free gift of a healing. And you're getting introduced to a new person that wouldn't have been on your list or in your life.
The next question is the core technique a separate class?
It's part of the journey of the Healer program, which I'll share a little bit about as we go on.
And then Connie has a couple of questions. So one is that she says, I know I've asked this before, but how do I connect with my healing ability stronger so I can feel it? And then the next part is it really possible to deepen or develop where the energy is stuck? I feel very confident in learning about how they see themselves in the world and how their thinking blocks them. How do I learn more about the stuck energy in the body? Feeling hot and cold comes through sometimes, but I don't do enough, as most clients today are massage clients and the ones who want to talk. I do believe there's more I do than give a good massage.
Yes, you do, Connie. I can already tell by your energy. How you tell, there's so many different ways of telling where stuck energy is. And probably the easiest way is to scan the body. So if somebody is telling you, I have this kind of issue, and you're doing a scan, what you want to do is just ask yourself, stop where you feel the energy is stuck. So you're scanning their body, but you're asking your knowing, which is coming through your hand, to stop where you feel the energy is stuck on that person. So that's one way. I mean, there's a million ways, so that's a hard question to answer. Another way, Connie, is really developing your intuition more. Because when you are clear on your intuitive knowing, whether you hear, see, sense, or know, it becomes easier to know what that body needs. A third way that I would do it on where the energy is stuck is ask the person, where are they feeling tightness in their body right now? Because 99% of the time there's stuck energy there.
Awesome. So the next question is, do you hold in-person sessions in your home?
I used to. I now have an office because I'm too busy to do it in my home. But when I started out, I had my own healing room, and I did them right out of my house.
And then shifting in terms of, you asked the question about how do people feel about the myths. And Angela says, I think my myth is that I'm trying to heal my relationships, marriage, and health, and working part-time and trying to get my healing business going, but struggling to do it all.
Right. So, Angela, one of the things is that it sounds like um, you need to sort of set some priorities for yourself. Like, okay, so maybe this is the time that I do healing on myself first. So one of the things that I truly, truly believe in, and this is so important, guys, for all of you out there doing the work, is that when you are working with people, it becomes incredibly important to make sure you've done your own healing. So as part of the work, part of my schools, and this is the third school that I've run, the Journey of the Healer, is I always apply the work to ourselves first, because you as a healer want to be healed. Now, we're never all the way healed. There is always somebody that walks in that might trigger something for me, or like make me remember things that I didn't remember about myself. Now, those things will come up for you. And as a healer, you just jot them down and you go back to yourself later after the session. But what you really want to do is, if you have so much going on and so much you need to, you need to get healed first, focus on you first, really. Do the healing. Take the classes and apply it to yourself, because that's when you're going to, if you heal that, you're going to move into your strongest confidence, your strongest capabilities. Because then you'll even have some of your own stories to share. Like, I know this process worked because when I did it, it really opened up this for me. And people trust that. Like, when people are coming to me and I didn't even really know what I was doing and I had no language, I would just share like, oh, this came to me and this is how I used it, and here was the experience I got from it. And they would say, oh, I want some of that. Sure, I'll do that. So sometimes when we're healing ourselves, we become good at understanding how the healing impacts all aspects of your life. Because here's the thing, Angela, you mentioned marriage and relationships. When you're a healer, you are in relationship with other people. So your ability to have good relationships matters. You don't want the one and done healing. Like, it's very rare that I get someone that comes to me, I see them once, and then I never see them again. It's most of the time people come with the idea they're only going to see me once, and they'll stay on for months, because we're working on deep things and they're starting to see changes in their life. So, yeah. Okay, Laura, what's next?
Yeah, so there are more people that are just sharing with you where they're stuck. And so it seems like that's in the front of people's minds if you wanted to do the release process, or if you want to.
Great. Yes, we're going to get to the release process. So the first thing I want you to do is to breathe in where you're stuck into your body and notice for yourself where you feel tightness. So close your eyes, take a minute, and I want you to breathe into that myth or that belief that you have and recognize, where is it? Is it in your physical body? Do you feel tightness? Is something contracting for you? It could be out in the energetics, so you're not feeling it in your body. And now I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a few deep breaths. And I want you to set your intention. Focus on what your intention is. My intention is to be this kind of healer, or to do this work in the world, or to show up in this way, or to believe that I can make all the money I need to make. So get clear on what your intention is. And as you focus on your intention, I'm going right behind you and clearing out any energy that I see on the physical, the emotional, the energetic, or the spiritual level. So just keep breathing in. And now I'm inviting in two different vibrations. One is blue and the other is green. I want you to connect to the color that resonates for you. And imagine that color flowing from your crown chakra all the way through your body. And just allow yourself to absorb whatever color works for you right now. Some of you might be bringing in both the blue and the green. Okay, and when you're ready, come back to present time and present place. And just put in the chat box how you're doing. Someone put in, and I just want to share this, my limiting belief is, who am I to be a person of authority? And I want you to know, who are you not to be a person of authority? Like, don't let, we are all given gifts for a reason. We have a responsibility to step into them. So step in. Jane saying fabulous, creating a better state of mind, prioritizing what's important, shoulders much better, solar plexus, pain and shaking. Christine, more of that will flow out. My throat was tight before, but now feels powerful. I'm doing good. Get some insights, cause of my insecurities. Excellent, excellent. I will continue to work on you all as we continue to move on. One thing I would like you to do after this call is, a lot of you just wrote down what you noticed. I want you to write a new mantra for yourself around the new way you're going to hold yourself. So it could be, I am a powerful healer and I step into my work right now. I commit to developing myself so that I feel confident and comfortable, whatever it is. I allow my voice to be heard in the world. I lead people because that was Spirit's intention. So I have a question to ask you. What will it mean for you to make movement in filling your gaps, on getting beyond your myths and filling your gaps and moving to your next level? Because, and you can post it in the group, but I'm going to tell you because I'm so super excited, that I want you to first think about how would you feel if you're in the same place this time next year? Will you be happy? What happens if you don't step in your gifts, into your gifts, or you let what other people think take away your power? Or you let what your mind thinks. You know, our minds are wonderful. They're amazing. They're powerful. We want to have these great minds that keep us safe. And our mind sometimes works against us because when it doesn't understand what you're doing, it doesn't want to go there with you. So sometimes you need a mantra for your mind as well. So you don't want your mind to say, oh, you're fine. We could just do this. Let's just go it alone. The number one thing I think that holds a lot of healers back, or they take such a long, circuitous route, and I'm waving my hand here because this was my journey, is that you go it alone for so long. And for me, I went alone on this journey because I just didn't know people at the time. I couldn't find community or groups or teachers. It took almost 4 to 5 years to find some teachers to help work with me. So if you ask yourself those questions, I want you to say, what would it take for you to pivot? And pivot means really doing away with your resistances and really stepping into what your purpose is as a healer. What would it be like if you had a world-class curriculum? One that helps you to charge for your gifts, to build that confidence in you, to give you ways in which you can go out and speak about what you're doing and put together little workshops and invite clients and increase one-on-ones and group work. What would that be like? Because that's what's keeping most of you stuck right now, is that you're really needing some support, and we all need support. And you're really needing support on stepping into your greatest gifts, on having structure and strategy and ways to go about it, so that when a client calls, you feel great. You feel like you know you can do the work for them. Let me know, are you ready to do this? Because if you are, I'm ready to share with you what I have in store. So type in the chat box. I'm ready, says Angela. I love this. When I step into my gifts, I will feel free, alive, and unstoppable. I'm ready, says Boss. Great. So you have to take this moment. This is your moment in time, and make that commitment to yourself. Are you ready? It's not enough to just know it. You have to commit to it. Our commitment is half the battle, because when we commit, we're now aligning ourselves to a whole different level of energy. We're aligning ourselves to the energetic healers that say, great, I'm ready to work with you too. Definitely ready for the new energy. Excellent. I love your Galaxy Tab A. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to talk to you about what I have that I'm offering. And it's the Journey of the Healer School. It's been in place. We've had this amazing group that are actually in it right now. So a couple of them are on the calls. And one of my most important jobs in this group is not to show them yet another modality, although I'm doing that. I want to build their confidence and their capability that they can work with anyone, anytime, anywhere. That, to me, would be success. for the school. So my goal is to help everyone that walks into this journey of the Healer School know that there isn't one client that they should fear that walks in and you say, oh no, oh God, will I really be able to help them? That you will have at your core the ability to know how to heal, to how to support, when to look at limiting beliefs, when to look at energy, when to look at lineage, when to work with soul contracts, when to change contracts, when to go out and bring aspects of their soul back to them that they might have lost, when to work with trauma or anxiety. That's what the journey of the Healer School gives you. I mean, I could go on and on. We have this massive curriculum. We meet twice a week. We do all these amazing things. You work in groups. This is the methodology. Whoops, about what we teach. We work on the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, the energetic. We have the core methodology on how to listen in so you know where to take your client next. How to build a referral engine so that you don't have to keep doing the marketing of your work. Clients are just giving you other clients. That you know how to attract the clients that will refer you. You see, like I have in my business 5 to 6 clients that send me clients all the time. And not just 1 or 2, literally multiple clients over the months. I call them my referral engines, and that's what they are. But that's because they've gotten such value out of the work, but also people in their lives have seen them change. So they say, what are you doing? I want some of that. They're not going out and saying, oh, I want to get Marianne business. They're just being themselves, and what they're showing to the world is how much they've changed, how much they're living in happiness or joy or their freedom, or they're doing the work that really matters to them. And the people in their lives are asking them, what are you doing? And that's when I get the referrals. So that's what I want for you. That's what I want for you if you're ready to step in or expand your business or take it to the next level. I've been at this for over 20 years. I've trained, this is my 3rd healing school. Every time I create a new healing school, it's because I've learned so much more that I refuse just to keep teaching what's easy for me to teach. I want to teach the latest and the greatest in a way that I know you could really make impact in the world. So if you are ready, and there's no commitment, like Laura and I have been having so much fun just talking to people. And some people, it's clear they're not ready to go to the journey of the healer, but there's things we can do for them to help them get to their next step. So if you're interested, give us a call. We're here to help you. Part of my commitment, part of what I want to step into is really developing and impacting over 1 million people in this world. And right now, I realize I need to help other healers, because if I create more and more healers out in the world that can impact in big ways, that's part of me reaching my goal as well. So I want to help you. And I think that you're gifted and you deserve it. So go to thejourneyofthehealer.com, schedule a call with Laura or I. We've both been at this for a while, so it doesn't really matter who you get. But we're happy to talk to you about how to support you to either your next step, or if you're interested in the program, we're happy to talk about that too. But I just want to make it clear, it doesn't have to be about the program. It has to be about supporting you and getting you to your next step. Because if I can get you to your next step, then I have the possibility of healing through you other people. Okay, Melody, I love your excitement and your passion All right, so go to the Journey of the Healer and schedule a call. Let's talk. I love, Kathy, yours, and just even if you get some help on what to offer. And Christine, that's great. Connie said one of Marianne's schools. I can't. For some reason, I can't read Connie's chat.
She just said she's been through one of your programs and it was amazing. It's what got her into having her own massage business.
Oh, okay. So I'm here, Laura's here. We're dying to meet with you and connect and to see how we can raise your game, how we can take you to the next level. And if you're listening to this in replay mode, go to Journey of the Healer, and happy to talk to you all. All right, everyone, I need to head out, and I will talk to you soon. I'm going to take everyone off mute, and I'm just going to stop share so that we can hear voices saying goodbye. Unmute all.
Thank you.
All right, bye everyone.
Thank
This
you.
is really great
Bye.
connecting and meeting with you all.
What now?
Thank you.
Bye guys. Talk to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.